Welcome to the Authentic Health Coaching Show. My name is Tom Corson-Knowles, founder of Authentic Health Coaching, and I want to thank you for subscribing to our show today. So we have an amazing free gift for you with Dr. Corson's top 5 nutrition tips. It is the #1 guide to taking your health to the next level, and you can get your free copy at AuthenticHealthCoach.com. Now today on the show we have an absolutely incredible guest for you, Kim Peterson. And Kim and her husband were the founders of Light Force Therapy, which was a company that used light waves to help people heal and recover. And I believe that company was one of the fastest growing companies in the world at the time. They were featured in Fast Company magazine and all kinds of media for their incredible growth. And I think they did over about $20 million a year in sales with that company. And now, a few years ago, Kim founded CommonSenseHealth.org. And Common Sense Health is really her passion of educating the public about alternative therapies, about alternative health practices that they can use to really improve their health and increase their health overall. And so she's really turned herself from the business world to the nonprofit sector, where she wants to make an absolute difference in millions and millions of people's lives all around the world. So today on the show, Kim shares with you her vision for Common Sense Health. And of course, you can join for free at CommonSenseHealth.org. I think it's just an incredible cause, and that's why I had Kim on the show today. And I think you're actually going to love her, and you're going to love this organization that she's building. And it's just another opportunity to be with like-minded people who really want to share and help each other and give back. So enjoy the show today and make it an incredible day.
Kim, thank you so much for being with us today on the Authentic Health Coaching Show. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit more about your background and how you got interested in health and wellness?
Well, it's great to be here, Tom. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a passion of mine for decades now to share the information that I've learned over the years in terms of being proactive rather than reactive about our health. And we have a tendency in our society to wait until everything completely breaks down, and then you go to the doctor and you're prescribed medication. And I think at that point it's a little too late for a lot of people. If we just kind of take a step back and we really watch what we're putting into our mouths, we really take care of our body in a way that it was designed to be taken care of. We need to move on a regular basis. We need to sport a positive attitude on a daily basis. We need to eat food rather than packaged products that really don't serve us and don't help our bodies to thrive. So CommonSenseHealth.org, it was a labor of love. I really put it out there just to share information with people so that they had a place to come and a resource where they could discuss, hey, I have this situation going on. Has anyone heard of anything that could be helpful to help me? Articles and tips and things where you can really go to get the support and get the community of like-minded people that are all about living the best life that you possibly can. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, Common Sense was designed to be a fantastic tool for people who are interested in natural health, wellness, and ultimately success, the most success that they can get out of their lives.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's awesome. And, I think it's so important to be a part of a community that, supports you because, if someone's overweight or sick and they want to make some changes in their health and there's no one around them in their life who wants to go to the gym with them or help them, prepare healthy meals with them, then you really have to find a community of support. And so I think, this is a great resource for people to do that.
Well, and Tom, it ultimately what it comes down to is the only person that can help you get on the right track is you. Truly. The only person that has the power to get you to where you want to be is you. So if you are surrounded by people who are encouraging and perhaps they've been through, they lost a lot of weight or they turned an illness around or whatever, boy, that's just so empowering because no one can do your sit-ups for you, right? You have to be the one to do it. So if you have other people around you that are supportive of your efforts, it just makes everything so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, that's so true. So what have you found, for you personally and for the people that you work with, what is some of the biggest lessons that you've learned that really help people get on the right track?
I think it's to be open to changing paradigms. A lot of us grew up in the thought process that, if something happened, that a medication would fix us or a pill would fix us. And I think throughout, maybe the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, our society has become so reliant upon these various, tools, if you will, that are tools if they're used properly. Medication definitely has its place, and it's incredibly powerful in a lot of instances, but I think we've used it as a crutch. So it's really important to kind of take a step back and say, why don't we not have to take the medicine in the first place? Why don't we do the things that we need to do to stay healthy, to stay active, to stay vibrant, as long as we possibly can? And I think that's another thing, too. Aging is just something that really is changing in terms of paradigms. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, there are people in their 80s and 90s that are vibrant and healthy. We're living longer. So I think it's really important that we take a step back, and not only are we living longer, but we're living better. We don't just want the length of time, we want the quality of life. And I think a lot of people are waking up to that realization, and I felt it was important to give them a place to kind of come together and share their thoughts and educate themselves and, be able to implement some strategies that will really help them do just that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think that's so key, quality of life. And, it's great to live to 90 or 100 years old. I think that's fantastic, and it's a worthwhile goal, but don't you want to be, healthy and vibrant and still walking and running and playing with your grandchildren when you're at that age instead of, in a home or, on some kind of machine that's keeping you alive,
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think a lot of people are really waking up to that. And the beautiful thing about it is, since our body is constantly, shedding old cells and creating new, so we're constantly creating a new cell, every moment that we're alive. And at any point, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, really, you can turn things around in your 80s and 90s if you so desire. If you put the proper fuel in there, if you take the proper care and attention to what your body needs, you can still turn things around. There's no warranty expiration on that, and we're learning that. So I think a lot of people are waking up and saying, boy, I want to be one of those people, like you said, Tom, that are on the floor playing with your grandkids or going for hikes, traveling, doing all the things that you want to do rather than just living and sitting in front of a television or something. That just doesn't sound too desirable.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's why people, subscribe to our show and listen to our show is because they just want to live that best quality of life that they possibly can. So what are the key areas that you've found for health and wellness that really keep your body healthy and prime in old age?
I think number one, use it or lose it. I think that is critical. I think it's really important to find something that you like to do and do it. And whether that's hiking or running or jogging or working out or yoga or, a combination of all of these things, swimming, whatever that you enjoy, do that. It doesn't have to be, whatever's trendy at the moment. It has to be something that you really enjoy. For me, I love being in nature, hiking and just being in it. It's something I have to do to recenter myself. So number one, move it or lose it, take care of your body, get out there and do something. Mm-hmm. Secondly is really focus on what you're putting into your mouth. Take a look at the ingredients on labels. Is this something that you can pronounce? Is this an actual food, or is this a chemical that your body is going to reject, or at best reject, at worst turn into manifest itself as an illness because your body just wasn't designed to ingest that many chemicals. And I think thirdly is to really reflect and pay attention to what's going on in your body and your life. It all success to me is it's not just health, it's not just money, it's not just your relationships, but it's a combination of all of that. take a step back and assess, where am I right now? Am I spending too much time at work? Am I spending too much time slacking off? Have I really been treating my body with the respect that it deserves? Take the time to reflect so that you can constantly keep that balance. And I think all of us have to do that. We have this illusion that all of a sudden you reach this place and you're perfect and wonderful all the time. And it doesn't happen that way. You have to be constantly aware and make sure you're doing the things that you need to do to live the life that you want to live.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's a constant journey, and you're always, working on your health. You're always working on improving and getting better and eating the right diet and having the right exercise program and having the right mental attitude.
Absolutely. It's a daily undertaking for sure.
Absolutely. So tell us more about Common Sense Health and what resources do you have for people and how people have been using that to really make a huge difference in their lives.
Well, we have blog posts that anybody can come and share the information that they have. If you've had an experience, for example, recently for me, I came across juicing, and I really wasn't very familiar with it, and kind of did some research and read some people's blogs and information and tried it and did a 40-day juice fast feast. And I shared my experience in a blog post. This is how it was. This is how it felt. These are the things that were amazing that happened. These were the things that were challenging that happened. And it's just, it's coming from me, a regular person. So everyone is encouraged to do that. Share your information. Did you find something that worked? How did you feel? How was it? How did it work for you? So there's a blog area where people can just kind of post the information that they like. And then there's also a forum area where conversations are kind of taking place back and forth, recipes, how important is it to buy organic versus not organic, just different conversations. There's groups that people can join if they want daily motivational tips, tips on fitness. There's videos where people can come. They can post videos. They can comment on videos. And these are things that are all, a lot of motivational things, because I find that if you're making a change, if you're saying, hey, I'm committed to becoming healthier, I'm committed to watching what I put in my body and moving my body and all of that, it sure is nice to have some motivational material that you can look at to kind of help you keep on track in that regard. Mm-hmm. So there's all of this content and the free sharing of information. People are encouraged to share what's worked for them, and I think a lot of people, you'd rather hear it from someone who has similar objectives to yourself rather than from a company that's trying to promote something, So it's kind of nice to just kind of be able to interact and share and have so many tools at your disposal to make sure that you get to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And I'm sure it's also a great place to get support because, when you're sharing publicly about, your health goals and your challenges that you're coming through, that you have other people support you who are like-minded, and that's so important to making sure that, you really reach the goals that you want to achieve.
Yeah, and you know what really makes it interesting, Tom, is that people are from all over the world. People are from everywhere. We had a guy in somewhere in Africa, and he discovered this amazing oil that is, really phenomenal for your skin, and so he's sharing information there, and no one had ever heard of it before. People from everywhere, so you can really. We think we know everything. We have so much information, and we do. Gosh, it's a tremendous age that we live in, but it's really nice to kind of get a feel for all over the place, all over the world, what is working. And it's even more exciting to say, well, gosh, if I wanted to get some of that oil from Africa, I can get some, even if I live in the United States, So as long as I'm aware of it, as long as I have the knowledge and the education, I can have the resource. And so CommonSenseHealth.org is a place where people can come together and share that and have the best tools and the best support and the best information.
Well, that's awesome. And, for me, it's almost like a remembering of what we've lost or what we've forgotten because, 100 years ago, 500 years ago, 5,000 years ago, the only medicine we had was natural medicine, from the plants and the herbs and the natural remedies that people learned over the ages. And we've kind of forgotten so much of that, like you said, with all the Western medicine and the drugs and surgery that we have now, which are fantastic when you need them. But, I think the real focus and the real problem now is more in prevention rather than in treatment. And so it's awesome that, you're having people from all over the world sharing all this incredible knowledge that can really make a huge difference.
It does. It does. It does make a huge difference, and I think that's knowledge that we have lost over the decades and over generations, and it's really important that we kind of get that back again. And the big thing back in those days, the herbs and things, we didn't have transportation systems like we have now, and we didn't have the sharing of information like we have now. So just think, we have the best of both worlds. We have allopathic medicine for, urgent situations, life-threatening things that we need to, remedy right away. We have all of the natural herbs and essential oils and all of the wonderful tools. And even if they come from, the other end of the world, we can have them shipped to us, which is just phenomenal. And we have the education of, okay, how do I use this? What is this, going to do for me? How do I use it on my 2-year-old versus myself? Is this safe to use here or there or whatever? So we have the best of all things now. We have an amazing resource in tools, and we have an amazing resource in relationships, in being able to build relationships and share information. And I just think that's really, that's important. We need it right now, and obviously a lot of other people agree because of the growth that we've seen with the group and our social media outreach is just tremendous. We're very excited about it.
Well, it's awesome. And, I think you're so right that we live at the best time ever to be alive, where we have so much knowledge and so much information about health and so many resources to improve our health. And yet, in America, we're one of the sickest countries in the world. So let's talk about that real quick. I mean, why do you think that is?
Tom, I think a lot of people have taken for granted the fact that, you really are responsible. You can't just watch what you see on TV and buy these things, buy these food products that aren't really food. You need to be responsible to do the research behind it. It used to be like McDonald's, for example. Just a generation ago, if you got to go eat at McDonald's, maybe you did that once a month or once every 3 months, and it was just a big treat, and oh boy, we get to eat at McDonald's, and it's turned into, oh my gosh, we're really rushed, let's get a Happy Meal and go through the drive-through and eat that, and that's what we call dinner. We can't do that anymore. We have to take responsibility and take a step back and say, just because these things are out there and they're available and maybe they're inexpensive, we need to, what is more expensive? Buying quality food products now or eating non-food products and dealing with not having your health in the future? It's relative. So I think in the U.S. it really has come down to personal responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
People really need to take a step back and say, okay, I'm the one that's responsible for me. If I can't function, I can't take care of my family. I can't earn an income. I'm grouchy all the time. It's me. I'm the one who has to make the changes. So fortunately, like you said, we have the resources, we have the tools. It's just time to start using them. And so that's the real reason why we formed CommonSenseHealth.org in the first place, because I don't think there can be too many resources that are sharing good information so that people can make good decisions about living an exceptional quality of life. I don't think there can be too much of that floating around.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think you're so right about taking responsibility. When I was a kid, I used to watch Spider-Man all the time, the cartoon. And one of my favorite quotes from that was, with great power comes great responsibility. And we have so much power right now. We have so much information that we've never had before about health and wellness. But with all that knowledge comes the responsibility that we have to do something with it. So I'm so glad that we have people like you, Kim, who are helping people take that responsibility and get all that knowledge and just take their health to the next level.
And you, Tom, you're sharing the information and getting it out, and people are coming, to get more educated, and that's fantastic that they have all of these tools. But you hit it right on the head when you said it's action. Knowledge is not power. You must have knowledge, but you must take action, and you need to take it consistently to get results. So we've got the information, we've got the oomph in terms of here's some motivational material along with the information, so that you can really sink your teeth in and make it be fun, get the support that you need, and live the best life that you possibly can, because ultimately that's where you make the most difference in the world is when you're living your best life and feeling vibrant and powerful and strong. And the more people we have that are doing that, the better world we have for all of us. So it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, you're so right. And I hope that everyone listening to this will go ahead and take action and will join commonsenshealth.org, because it's free to join. And if they put a post up there, share some knowledge that they have, who knows, they could touch the lives of people all over the world and not even know about it.
Absolutely. That's the objective.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Kim. I know you shared some awesome information with us, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
Hey there, it's Tom Corson-Knowles again. I hope you enjoyed the show today with Kim Peterson. Please do go ahead and check it out at commonsenshealth.org and just join that community. It's totally free to sign up. There's no obligations or anything like that. But it's just an awesome way to be a part of a movement that's really making a difference in the health of not just, the United States, but the entire world. So I hope you'll join that, and just wishing you an absolutely incredible day. Take care.